Welcome everybody. Sorry, I am driving. Just a lot going on today, very busy, but I did want to make a video. I figured I would just go live real quick. Hopefully the audio isn't too bad. As I'm driving, I did disconnect my Bluetooth, so it should be better than it was during my driving live the other day. If I go back and watch the live and the audio is terrible, I'll go back and I'll make a real video about this subject. But I did want to touch on something that's been discussed in the comments in some of the past couple of videos. And it was mentioned, I mentioned it a couple times on my lives the other night when we did our batch party celebration. So I wanted to talk about the TurboTax 5-day early refund. And the reason I want to touch on that is because I had mentioned, the way that refund works is it's like an instant deposit, a same-day transfer. And I had just assumed that they did the same-day transfers through their same third-party bank that they use for their fees and their refund advance at the beginning of the season, which would be SBTPG. But as it turns out, I contacted TurboTax to find out who they use for the 5-day early deposit, and it's a different bank altogether. So I know some people were saying they were going to check their status on SBTPG because they hadn't yet gotten their early deposit, and then they were saying that they didn't have information on file for them. Well, that's because it didn't go through that bank. So for the early deposit, for the 5-day early deposit, if you paid that $25 fee, TurboTax uses a bank called Cross River Bank. And then once they get notification from the IRS that the money's coming, they release that money. And the reason why some people have been getting it basically the same day that their transcripts update, and some people haven't gotten it until the day of the deposit was scheduled, is because the bank that you used to receive the deposit personally probably doesn't accept same-day transfers. That was the reason that they gave to me. And it kind of makes sense. So basically what happens is, say you checked your transcript on Friday, you had and this could be applied to anyone that checks their date as a certain date of their refund deposit. But just say, for the sake of an example, you checked your transcript on Friday and your refund issue date was for 2/26 on Wednesday. Cross River Bank gets the notification the same day that your refund is coming and was approved. So they instantly are going to send a same-day transfer to you. Now, if you have a card, like a debit card, prepaid debit card that accepts instant transfers, for example, I know a lot of people with Chime were saying that they got the deposit the same day. So we could say Chime, for example. Well, they'll accept a same-day transfer. But if you have a bank that doesn't accept same-day transfers, say you bank through a local credit union or a local savings bank, and they try to send that instant transfer to you, your bank will reject it because they don't accept same-day transfers. So then what they have to do is they have to go back, and that Cross River Bank then has to initiate a regular ACH direct deposit, which you would get the day that your transcript reflects, so on 2/26. A little confusing, I know, but basically what's happening is, for a lot of people, the bank is rejecting that same-day deposit. So then you end up having to wait for a regular direct deposit, as if you never did the 5-day early. So I flat out asked the TurboTax support what happens to those people that paid the $25, and she told me that they would get a refund for the $25 fee, since they didn't get the service that they paid for. So if you paid the $25 fee to get the early deposit, and you end up getting it the same day because your bank rejected the initial deposit, they are supposed to be refunding you the $25. So definitely, if that does happen to you, which I know it's happened to a lot of the viewers because they've contacted me about it, you definitely want to stay on top of the TurboTax. Cross River Bank doesn't have anything to do with it. Stay on top of TurboTax to get that that refund. Sorry guys, I'm driving and I got multiple things going through my head right now. Yeah, so if it gets to be Monday and you haven't gotten your deposit yet, and you paid for the early deposit, you're likely going to have to get it the day that they scheduled it for, the day that the IRS actually scheduled it for, and you're one of those people that are going to reject it. So that's a nuisance and annoying. And the other thing that people have been asking about is they've been logging into the SBTPG, say they got their fees taken out, or they got the refund advance at the beginning of the year where they got half their refund up front. That does go through SBTPG, so when you log in with your federal refund amounts, a lot of people are showing that it's been funded. SBTPG has received the money. It's going to stay funded until the day that you're scheduled for. So, for example, our family is scheduled for February 26th. That's when they'll release the money. They're notorious for getting the money days in advance and then not releasing it until the day of. So I know a lot of people have been asking if they'll get it early. If you're lucky, you might get it the night before, but generally speaking, they don't release it until the same day that it was scheduled for, even though they got the money early. But you can log into SBTPG if you paid your fees out of your refund, or if you got the refund advance. And like I said, those are different than the 5-day early advance, and they use a different bank. So just to clear up that issue on the 5-day early, it's a different type of direct deposit. It's a same-day transfer, also known as an instant transfer. And some banks don't accept those type of deposits. So the people that paid 5 days early that didn't get them early, that's what happened. They tried to send it, your bank rejected it, then they had to send it through a regular traditional direct deposit, which takes a few days to clear. And you are supposed to get a refund on that. Somehow I have a strong feeling in about 2 or 3 years we're going to see a big class action lawsuit on this. Because I feel like every 5 there's a big class action lawsuit against TurboTax or H&R Block or other tax providers for charging fees for services that they don't provide. So I can almost guarantee this is. But that's it. To talk about that a little bit. I'm going to go back when this video posts and make sure the audio is okay. If not, I'll make a more detailed video on it. And might as well give shout outs to the chat. Paul, Top Notch Fishing, good morning. I've had my bank release my return the night before. Yeah, can happen. Some banks will do early posting, and some banks will wait till the day of. So, yeah, some banks are what we call no-hold banks, and they'll do an early deposit, or they up to 2 days early. But with the 5-day early advance, like I said, it's a different type of direct deposit. It's like an instant transfer, so that money is supposed to be instantly available to you once it gets transferred, but not every bank allows those instant transfers. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. Just wanted to give that quick little update, and I hope everyone has a great week.